Hello, all you cool cats and kittens. I will be with you in just a second. uh, I just had to wait for my camera to restart itself, so I'll be on in just a second. All right, we should be good now. We are. Awesome. Hey, Blue Bubble, how's it going? How's it going? Good to see you. How are you? How are you? And hello to everybody else. Welcome back. This is Soul Commodore here, and we're back doing another painting, a new one this time. We just started this our last session, but some housekeeping before I start. Just wanted to say happy Tuesday or Wednesday to you, depending on what time it is where you're at. Oh, you saw my morning in the... Yes, that's right. I'm sorry I haven't responded to that comment yet. I'm notoriously bad for keeping up with comments on Instagram. I'm trying to get better at that. But I will comment back because I really did appreciate your comment. But yeah, happy Tuesday or Wednesday to you. Happy Lunar New Year to everyone. And also, happy Black History Month, because it is now Black History Month. I'm actually wearing a Black History related shirt. Like, I used to work at the Chatham Kent Black Mecha Museum eons ago. And this shirt is one that they have. And this is the emblem for the Chatham Colored All-Stars, who won their championship in 1934, I think it was. Yeah. I think it was 1930. Don't quote me on that. It's been a while since I've worked there. But, yeah, 1934, I believe they won the championship. And the Chatham Colored All-Stars, obviously an all-black baseball team that was based out of Chatham, Ontario. So, yeah, it's a little celebration of that. So, happy Black History Month to everybody. I'm going to be doing some more talking about Black History stuff as we go through today. But I thought I'd just start with that. So this is the scene that we're working on today. I'm just going to take these wrinkles out a bit. Yeah, Blue Bubble, how have you been? I hope you've been doing well. So our plan for today is actually to sort of redo this horizon line. Not too bad? That's good. That's good. I'm glad. Yeah, we're going to be redoing this horizon line, making it a bit hazier, bringing the blue of the sky up a little bit. But that's the plan. We'll see if it actually comes to fruition. Over here. It's really hard to keep the wrinkles out of the paintings that are like very long this way. If they're long and they're tall, it's not too bad. But But we manage. We manage. I have a feeling, just based on the work we just did, that this sweater is probably going to come off at some point during this stream. That was it was very warm, which is nice when you're like out for a walk or whatever. One nice thing about this sweater though is when I put it on, it's fitting a little looser than it was, which means that I lost a little weight, which I've been trying to do. So we're on the right track for that. Alright, so let's get our paint together. So we're going to need a whole lot of white and a little bit more blue. And I might add a touch of red to the proceedings as well. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So there's our blue. And just a whole heap of white, because we're going to need a lot of white. There we go. Like when I say a lot of white, I'll show you. I mean a lot of white. But we're going to be using all of this white. So. And get some of our red. I think we might just add just a touch of red. yeah, it's going to be quite a bit of white paint. Okay. So yeah, we're going to be starting all through here, and we're going to make this a lot more white than it is, more hazy. And we're going to bring this blue up and make it a little bit more even as well. But if we do all that right, it should turn out pretty decent. But who knows? Who knows? Also, I apologize when we get over here. I'm probably going to cover the camera a little bit because it's just harder to do that from that angle. We're going to start introducing a little bit of blue on this next level up, and like I said, just the tiniest bit of red. Like, not enough red that you'll be able to like look at it and be like, oh, there's red in there. But just enough that it gives a little bit more body to the color. You love painting clouds? Yeah, clouds are fun. Because they're so expressive and you can do so much with them. Like, yeah, clouds are great. It's times like this when we're working over here that I wish I was ambidextrous, that I could paint with my left hand too. But unfortunately I can't. There we go, we're working pretty good. So now we're going to move up a little bit more. Do like another step. That had just a little bit too much red in it. So I had to soften it up a bit. What kind of scene will this be? An ocean? I'm not quite sure yet. I know that there's going to be like a little beach down in this corner. Like just like a corner of a beach. But it could be an ocean, could be a lake. Could be a really ridiculously big river. Yeah. But it's going to be an aquatic scene, mostly. Yeah. It's definitely going to be water. The one thing I will say that, like, I feel like my acrylic technique has gotten pretty good over the years. But I will say that doing fades with acrylic is still fairly difficult to do. Like a nice striated fade. You need a lot of paint, and somewhat counterintuitively, you need a lot of patience, but you can't be that patient. Otherwise the paint's going to start to dry. Here we go. Yo! How's it going, Community TV? I just botched your name. I'm sorry, sir. But welcome in. Welcome in. How are you doing tonight? Zell, it looks like an old Horizon. It is an old Horizon. You might recognize it. But yeah, welcome in, welcome in. Glad you're here. I'm doing well. How are you? You've heard worse. Well, you see, that botch was out of excitement. So, but yeah, welcome in. Also, I'm gonna say this all through the stream. Just a happy Lunar New Year to everybody, and happy Black History Month. It's his fault for changing it. Yeah, not too bad. The hangovers. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad. Were you? Was there any sort of celebration preceding this hangover, or was it just like, was it a birthday or some other celebration? Or was it just a nice night out on the town? Or not even out on the town, but I think you know what I mean. Oh, just hanging with me. Nice, nice. That's the way to do it. Well, you caught us. You caught us during a. Ended up having a drink. Nice, nice. And then another. Well, you caught us on one of our painting nights, because I kind of alternate painting and gaming. So tonight we're doing the painting. Well, don't worry. This is a fairly chill stream. We're not going to ask you to get up and do any sort of calisthenics or anything like that. So you just take it easy, just relax a little bit, and yeah, we'll have some fun. Right now, we're just sort of fixing the original horizon line that we had in this painting. Hey, D, how's it going? How's it going? Well, this seems nice for me to watch before bed. Yeah, for sure. Now, Blue, if you're still here, it's always nice here. Well, thank you, Zell. I appreciate that. Blue, if you're still here, I wasn't lying. We've used all of that white paint, so we're gonna need to get some more. Not that random goblin energy some people give off. I barely have regular energy, let alone goblin energy. But yeah, basically after the last painting stream that we did, I wasn't too happy with how this horizon line turned out with the haze. So, seriously, all of it? Yeah, like all of it. It's this is all like pretty dry stuff that was there already. So, yeah, it was a lot of paint. But given the size of this canvas, we were definitely gonna use it all. It's kind of cool that it's a new lunar, it's a Lunar New Year and also Black History Month at the same time. This is the year of the tiger, right? It's the year of the tiger? I think it is. Of course, I could be wrong. So if I'm wrong, please feel free to correct me. Eye of the tiger. All right. So we got some more white on the canvas, or on the palette, I should say. There's going to be more white on the canvas eventually. But yeah, I just figured I would fix this horizon line. And the nice thing about paint is once it's dry, if you don't like how it turned out, you can just paint right over it. So that's what we're doing. Thrill of the fight. Rising up to the challenge of our rivals. There we go. And now, it doesn't mix with the painting. No, not quite. Not quite. And we're using this big brush because this big old like wall painter's brush, it's like a carpenter's brush actually. It covers a whole lot of ground. Which is why we're using that for this. Covers quite a bit of ground. And again, you'll see like these wrinkles are coming in again. Even though we like smooth them out, and it's because the paint is wet, right? The paint is wet, it's kind of heavy, so I'll just have to straighten it out again once we're done down here. Let me see if I can come over here and does that block things? Oh, we'll try it. This piece here is definitely much brighter than the last piece we got done. Nice change of pace. There we go, that's better. Now we'll just kind of smooth out in the middle here. The best way to do this. But I hope you all are having a lovely day so far today. Yeah, this looks This looks much better. Much better. Most of your days are just weird at the moment. That is fair enough. You gotta go now. It's getting pretty late where I am. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Well, thank you for coming out, Blue Bubble. I appreciate you coming out and saying hello and just giving us a peep again. And hopefully we'll see you again soon. And I hope that you have a wonderful night. Zell, you blame me? Uh-oh. What did I do this time? Yes, thank you. Thank you, Blue Bubble. I hope you have a wonderful night, and we'll see you next time. I had something weird for lunch and it didn't sit well with. That is fair. That is fair. I did do that. I take full responsibility. Okay, again, we're just coming through here with a mix of blue and white. We're just kind of going back and forth. And we're going to come back in with this water with some detail later. With a smaller brush, but right now I just kind of want to lay the groundwork for the color separation, basically. That's what we're doing here, and that actually looks pretty good. I don't really want to touch it much more than that. There we go. I don't want to touch it too much more, so we're going to touch it a little more. But that's artists. Not just artists, actually. That's just creative people in general, I find. I don't want to touch this much more. I'm gonna screw it up. But I really just need to, just do this part just a little bit more. There we go. I'm still not 100% happy with it, but I'm much more happy with it now than I was, which I think is the key. So right now I'm just gonna unbuckle these pins down here, kind of just re-stretch the painting. Try to get some of these wrinkles out. They won't come all the way out, but that's a little bit better than what we were looking at. The only way to get them all the way out 100% would be to completely tack this thing to the wall, much like doing a painting, like when you actually stretch a canvas onto a frame. But we're not going to do that, so I'm going to put a few extra pins at the top here, though. There we go. Okay. And now I'm gonna look up my reference image, which again is a picture that I took during the summer. My girlfriend and I went to a beach somewhere. I think it was in Oshawa, and I took some photos. This is like one of my favorite things to do when we're out and about is just take photos that I can get inspiration from and take some stuff from for future works. So this is one of them. Here, I'll hold it up for y'all. Is that gonna color correct? Sort of. Not really. It's a very bright scene, but basically that's what we're looking at. It was getting all washed out, but that's what we're doing. So we've got the haze of the horizon done pretty well. I might put some clouds in the distance over here because I do enjoy doing clouds. So actually, let's do that now while I'm thinking about it. Where is my round brush? Hello. Round brush, where did you go? There you are. It was hiding on me. I think I'm gonna need new rags soon. Unless this is the old rag and I just grabbed the wrong one, which wouldn't be the first time. No, this is the new one. Never mind. Okay. So we're just gonna throw in some clouds over here. Not too many. Just like a few. Nothing too crazy. And we're gonna have them kind of blend into the haze. But first I have to wash this brush off a little more. Sorry about that. For those of you who don't know, I use my phone as a webcam and my bank just called me because they're trying to get me to sign up for a credit card that I don't want. And of course, when someone calls me, it shuts off the video feed. At least it came back this time. Last time I had to go to like the be right back screen and like turn on my mic and be like, hey everybody, I'm still here. Just have a few technical difficulties. But that's the perils of using your phone as a webcam. One day I'll get like an actual webcam and you won't have to worry about that anymore. But for now, we'll just deal with it. That's all right. Life happens. Yes, yes, it does. And you know what? I would much rather have life happen than otherwise. So, yes, indeed. So, for those of you who don't know, since it's Black History Month, I am going to actually set up a little thing a command. I might even do it when I take my first break. What I've done every single year for 14 years now is on Facebook I've posted an obscure Black History fact of the day, like every day of February, every February for 14 years now. And I do that on Facebook because when I was at university, the university I was at didn't do anything for Black History Month. And I didn't quite appreciate it. So I decided to, do a little Black History education myself in my dorm. And then the following year, I took it online, onto Facebook. Like I said, posting every day a different fact and obscure facts. Because, like everybody, not that there are people that you shouldn't know about, but like everybody's heard of Rosa Parks and everybody's heard of Martin Luther King. And everybody knows what they achieved and what their accomplishments were. But I was more interested in people that, don't get a whole lot of pop. People that the history books kind of gloss over, or just straight up don't talk about. That was my whole goal with that project. That's still continuing. So I think I might set up a command that you can put in. And then you can like read the fact of the day that I posted over there if you don't feel like going to my Facebook. Because like I said, I used to work at a Black History museum, and Black history has always been kind of important. I'll never forget, I was 6 years old, driving to I guess it was one of my uncle's house, because my grandma had passed by then. Hey D, thanks for lurking. I appreciate it. I always feel like somebody's watching me. Thank you, sir. I hope you have a good lurk. Anyway, I was 6 years old and we were driving to one of my uncle's houses. And we were listening to, there's a gospel group called BB&CC Winans, and they did a rendition in 1991 of the Staples singers' I'll Take You There, right? And they had Mavis Staples on the track too. So it's a good song. The original and their version are good songs. And there's a line in there, in the original song, but the version we were listening to was BB&CC, that said, I know a place, ain't nobody crying, ain't nobody worried, ain't no smiling faces lying to the races. Now, as an adult, you know that they're talking about politicians, people, making promises to specifically underprivileged people, but people of all races, just lying through their teeth, right? But as a 6-year-old, I didn't know what that meant. Imagine being art good. Yes, imagine. But when I was 6, I didn't know what that meant, like lying to the races. I was like, what race are they talking about? Like, are they talking about track and field? So I asked my dad. And my dad said, well, son, race refers to skin color. And I was like, oh, what does that mean? So he kind of explained as best as he could to a 6-year-old. Hey, Jake from the Woods, thank you for the lurk, sir. I appreciate it. I always feel like somebody's watching me. Thank you, sir. Hope you enjoy your lurk. So he explained the best he could, using terms that a 6-year-old would understand, what races meant and why certain people look down on other races. That's the stuff. I'm glad you all enjoy that. So that was kind of my first look into, the fact that I was a different color than other people, and some people didn't like the fact that I was a different color, right? That was my first exposure to it. And obviously I've had more exposure to that since, especially in the preceding 2 years with all the Black Lives Matter movements. I got a pretty first-hand look at just how many people I knew in my life. Thankfully, it wasn't like a whole lot of people, but I got a good look at people who think a little bit less about black people, such as myself, than I thought they did. 2020 and 2021, very educational years in that respect. But that'll be a story for further down the line in Black History Month. For now, that was my first look into it, and then finding out that there was like an actual, celebration of Black history that took place every February. And also noticing like they didn't really talk too much about black people in my history classes in school. And for context, we're in Canada. Like I live in Canada. I'm born and raised in Canada. So it was kind of like a piece of my history that I missed out on for many years. I've got to head to bed. It was lovely. Well, it was good to see you too. It was good to see you too. I'm glad you showed up. I'm glad you night, pal. Yeah, no, I hope you have a good night. I hope you have a good night, Nindy. It was good to see you, and I hope to see you again. And I'm definitely gonna hopefully be able to catch your next stream. I noticed you were streaming today, but unfortunately work was a little bit busier today than I wanted it to be. You look forward to seeing facts. Okay. Then I'm definitely going to post those in the make a command. Also, I also post them in my Instagram stories, so I'll update my socials on here too, because you can use the socials command and look up my socials as well, because I post them on there too, like on my Instagram. So yeah. I hope you have a good night. All right, this is a nice little cloud. I'm just going to add a little bit more over here. But yeah, it's Black History Month is pretty important to me because there's a lot of I remember one of my classmates, not classmates, sorry, one of my floor mates. He was actually my roommate in first year. One of my floor mates. I was putting up the Black History facts on our calendar in our hallway, my first year of university. And he is of Chinese descent. I'm not sure where his family is from in China, but he still had a lot of family in China. He was born in Canada, but still had a lot of family in China. And I'll never forget, he came out to the hallway as I was explaining to one of our other floor mates what I was doing. And he was like, "Hey, why isn't there a Chinese History Month?" And I was like, you know what? Because I knew what he was trying to do, right? Like, he wasn't asking inquisitively. He was asking to, like, hope to, like, get a rise out of me. And I was like, you know what? It's a very good question. There probably should be. And by all means, man, if you want to put Chinese history facts on this calendar, be my guest. You know, it's Black History Month, and I'm putting Black History facts, but that doesn't mean you can't put Chinese history facts on here. Please, I would love to get some education in that, because I didn't learn anything about Chinese history when I was in school, and I reckon nobody else on the floor did either. Unfortunately, he didn't take me up on that, because I didn't take his bait, but he did have a good point in that, you know, like, all of these cultural histories are important, you know. Like, every culture's history is important because it tells the story of how we got here, you know? So it's all important stuff that deserves to be shared. Okay. So there's that cloud. And then I think over here, I want to do something similar to what was on the reference image where, is that a contrail or is it a, no, they're just regular cirrus clouds. Yeah. So we're going to do that. We're going to do that just over here. There we go. I think we'll do a couple of more of those down here. Basically what I'm doing is I'm just kind of, stroking the brush upwards, very short strokes, getting a lot of the paint off the brush, and then just kind of coming in and feathering over that. Just like so. And do some more of that down here. Do some more of that right in here because there's some brush strokes in here that I want to get rid of. So painting clouds over brush strokes is a really nice way to like kind of get rid of them without anybody noticing that you're just getting rid of brush strokes. It's kind of nice. Little trick of the trade for y'all. At least when it comes to my paintings. Like sometimes if you'll see something like clouds or whatever, sometimes they're covering up mistakes. There we go. We're going to come in here and we're going to feather this a little bit because this didn't blend as well as I thought it would, as well as I thought it did. So we're going to blend it ourselves with this smaller brush. There we go. That's a bit better. Alright, so I'm going to just take a step back here as I usually do and just look at this from a distance. And by distance, I mean I'm just going to go across the room to the other side of our bed and just take a look at it from there and see how the painting looks, you know? See what needs to be touched up, see what doesn't. Okay. I mean, these songs as a whole, but this particular song always makes me feel like taking a walk. Like just going for a nice long walk. Which, I don't know, I might do that tonight. Okay. Here we go. Alright, I think that looks good for the clouds. Yeah, I think that's looking pretty solid. So what we're going to do now is we're going to actually define where this horizon line is, because this is all hazy, right? But it's a haze like way out there on the horizon line, like way out on the water. We're going to do a little bit of land here that's going to be fairly in the distance, but it's not really going to be affected by any of that haze. So we're going to do that now. That'll be the next thing that we put together over here. So we're going to need we're going to need some black. So we got some black. I'm so glad gym's opened back up, because I really need to go back to the gym. Like we've been doing stuff here, but I miss my heavy lifting. Also, I go at night, like in the middle of the, not quite the, well, sometimes the middle of the night, when there's definitely no one there, which makes it really easy to access everything. Alright, so for this, because it's in the distance again, we're going to get some yellow and a little bit of blue. So we got like a nice bright greenish color there. I'm going to introduce some black to it and a little bit of red to it. Make a nice brown. There we go. So, where do we want this horizon line? How far up do we want it? This is going to be our cutoff for the edge of the painting. So we're going to start over here. I think we'll go about here. Actually, maybe we'll come a little lower. Now that I think about it, we'll go like right here. So that'll just be, we'll paint like trees and stuff over top of that. There we go. It's 7 o'clock already. Yo, Tad Greenwald, thank you for hosting. Thank you for hosting. I appreciate that. And thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. I hope you enjoy your stay. And SnowBeast88, thank you for the follow. I hope you also enjoy your stay. We're just working on this sort of like ocean scene, if you will. Oh, you're here from Tad's stream. Well, welcome in. Welcome in. Good to see you. I hope you're having a good day so far. And yeah, happy February to you. Happy Lunar New Year, and happy Black History Month. Let me just check our reference image here again real quick. Okay, yeah, there's not much reflection at all. Oil? No, actually, this is acrylic. But thank you. I'm glad you think it looks all right. But yeah, this is acrylic. Let me y'all excuse me for a second. Just gonna give a quick shout out to Tad for hosting us. I'm most currently playing Burnout Revenge. Yo, listen, I haven't. I unfortunately we didn't have Burnout Revenge when I was growing up, but I loved the Burnout series when we were growing up. So that's awesome. I'm gonna have to go check that out. And if any of you are into Burnout, you should probably check out Tad's stream because I'm gonna check that out after. Do you do art as well, or you primarily gaming? But shoutouts for the host. Much appreciated. Me and my siblings would play a whole lot of Burnout and Burnout 2 growing up. You were playing a little Burnout after you finished your painting today. Nice. You paint with watercolor. Yo, kudos to anybody who paints with watercolor or gouache or anything that's like water-based. Hats off to you. Because that takes a tremendous amount of skill, and I've never been able to I've never been able to wrap my head around it. I've never been able to convincingly do watercolor, so very, very cool. I will have to check that out once we're done the stream here. I may come back later and make this little inlet a little bit smaller, but I do kind of like the size of it now. What I think I might just have to do is like put a few more details in it. But at the very least now, our eye kind of has an idea of where the horizon line is, right? Which is good, because over here we're going to paint like a little barge. And by little, I mean like a big old like freighter ship. It's just going to be in the distance. But I'm going to wash off this brush because we're going to need a different brush for that. You feel the same way about acrylic. It dries too fast for me. Hey, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, acrylic acrylic does dry quick. I like that you can reactivate watercolor and gouache. Yeah, that is nice. That is nice. Yeah, I just marvel at watercolor work because like I said, I've never gotten the hang of it. But yeah, acrylic does dry quick, so it that's what makes it fun for me is the challenge of getting everything that I want on the canvas before it dries. And then if it does dry, then I just wait a couple of minutes and then I paint over it. But it makes for a nice little challenge. It's like speed running, except not at all like speed running. All right, where do we want this barge? Actually, the horizon line is going to be behind this. Now that I think about it, it's going to be behind this this little inlet, unless I make the inlet smaller. Let me, because this reference image is a picture that I took from a beach. It is actually fairly close. The barge, I mean. So maybe we'll paint it closer. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Maybe I do need to make this smaller. Which maybe I'll do that. I'll wait for this to dry and then I'll make it a little bit smaller. But we'll figure it out. That's the that's the beauty of creating. It's really easy to fix stuff. With charcoal drawings, because I do some charcoal drawings every once and again now, it's a little harder to fix those because charcoal doesn't erase all that well. But it's still doable. I think what we'll do is we'll paint this barge and then we'll decide from there how big we make this. I think that's the route to go. Again, I say barge, it's more like a freighter ship. So what I am going to do though is I'm going to make sure everything's square, so I'm going to grab my straight edge. My trusty old straight edge that I really need a new one because all the numbers have like rubbed off of it and all that. Funnily enough, all the numbers have rubbed off, but not the barcode. That's still there. Which I kind of get a kick out of that. We can grab some white, touch of black. You use opaque watercolors in areas where I mess up, but very rarely. Feels like cheating to me. That's fair. That is fair. Okay, I think this has to come up just a little bit. Yeah. I do like the size of that so far. So I think, yeah, what we'll do is we'll make the, I think we're going to end up making the island, or the inlet, I should say, a little bit smaller. But, let me just pull up this image again. Actually, first, let me bring this in, because we're going to be working kind of small here. And now I'll bring up the, oh, excuse my zipper. Now we'll bring this up. We're going to add a little bit of blue to this as well. Blue, white, and black. Make a nice bluish gray. Right now I'm just going to get the basic shape of this thing. Yeah, what were you working on stream? Like in terms of the subject matter of your painting? I'll be able to see the chat in a second. I just have my window open up to the reference image that we took. I think I took this last summer. Yeah. It was a really warm day, as most summers are. Most summer days are warm, but this was a particularly warm day. Okay. I'm gonna Sometimes I forget how short some of these songs are. It's unfortunate. You get into kind of a groove with it, and then it's just like, oh no, song's over. You paint old cars. This most recent version was of a Model T. Oh, nice, nice. You took the reference to September. Very small, though. Polar opposite of the... Hey, that's fair enough. I also marvel at people who work on very small scales. I marvel at other people's work, basically. But yeah, small scale stuff is very, very cool. Because you have such limited space to work with. Like, it's really interesting to see what people can do with the limitations that presents. How long have you been painting? There we go. Basically all through school, and then you went to college for art too. Nice, nice. Same here. Same here. Yo, Trip, what's up? What's up? It's early, but coming in to say hi and dropping a lurk. You want the stuff? Alright. I always feel like somebody's watching me. Thank you for the lurk, Trip. And again, happy Lunar New Year to you, and happy Black History Month. And to everybody, I should say. Where did you go? Or where did I go? If you don't mind me asking. There it is. I went to Western University. Well, I guess University of Western Ontario was what it was known as at the time. And the thing is, like, I got accepted to a couple of different schools. Like, I know that Guelph, at least at the time, had a better reputation for their... Yes, thank you, Soul. Thank you, Soul. Thank you, Trip. I'm Soul. The University of Guelph had a better reputation for their art program. And so did Ryerson. And I got accepted to the to OCAD, the Ontario College of Art and Design. But I decided to go to Western because that's where my prom date went. And then I ended up never dating her, which is fine, you know. But it's just like probably wasn't the best idea to base my university decision on that. Yeah, Canada. What about you? That's exactly what I did, Trip. That's exactly what I did. Yeah, 18-year-old me wasn't the smartest. All right, have a good lurk, Trip. I hope you have a good day today. Yeah. Maryland Institute of College and Art in Baltimore. Nice. You weren't the best. It wasn't the best. Hope art schools get... Well, I know that OCAD is rated pretty highly for art students. Western had some great professors, but they also had a lot of professors that weren't great. I basically got into my fourth year, and had a little bit of a, I don't know what you want to call it, a little bit of crisis of faith or whatever you want to call it, because I realized that I was like 4 years into a very expensive schooling and realized that they didn't teach me anything. Like I hadn't learned anything really. Even though they had told us that they were going to teach us things that they never really did, you know. So I was a little bit disillusioned with my university experience. Like I wish, even with the way that my life has transpired since then, I'm very thankful that I went to Western because I made some fantastic friends, and you know, half the stuff that has happened to me wouldn't have happened if I hadn't gone to Western, per se, you know. But it's like that butterfly effect thing, right? Like, who knows how my life would have turned out if I went to OCAD, but there are some times where I wish, just for the educational standpoint, I would have went to OCAD. But there's nothing I can do about it now, because as of today, I still can't time travel. Tomorrow, who knows? Maybe tomorrow. But alright, that's a nice little ship we got going there, I think. Now I'm gonna get some white paint, make a nice light gray, and we're gonna do a tiny bit of a reflection. Not much one though. You felt exactly the same. Wow. Doesn't help that half of mine was online because of COVID. Oh yeah, that's rough. Like I mean, half the fun with university courses, especially for something with art, is like being able to like collaborate with people right there. Like the studio courses where like you and everyone else are like working on like your final project or whatever, and you can like bounce ideas off. Like that's really, I can't imagine trying to do that online. Like that's rough. That's rough. Hindsight is 2020. Yeah. So we got a nice little bit of a reflection there. I'm going to wash off this brush and then put a little bit of a white line in between the boat and the reflection just to make it appear like it's sitting on water. Is my palette a record? Yes, actually. Let me back this up. When I was at school, my first year at school, they wanted us to go to the university bookstore and buy a very expensive art kit. And part of that art kit, it didn't come with the art kit, but part of the rubric said that you needed to buy a palette. And the palette was like 15, 16 bucks. Which I was like, I'm not paying 15, 16 bucks for a palette, you know? So I just got an old record. This isn't the one, but I got an old record and used that, and it worked perfectly. This, I think, is my 7th or 8th iteration of the record. Here's some that these are a couple that I've retired. So this is one that I've retired, working on both sides. This is another one that I've retired. That's a little bit broken. But yeah, basically I took old records, because I mean it works perfectly fine. Yeah, just took old records that I wasn't gonna listen to. Like I think this one, I mean no disrespect to the group, but I'm not going to listen to the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. If I'm going to listen to some gospel music, it's going to be like some gospel music. You know, like, I've said this before, but like the Winans or BB and CC, Kirk Franklin, you know, stuff like that. I'm not going to... Mormon Tabernacle Choir is a little too subdued for me. So yeah, I'll just take records that I know that I'm not going to listen to, like just at a secondhand store, right? And that no one else is going to buy. Like I know one of the records was from a compilation called Disco Fever, and I like disco music. Like I like old school music, and I like disco. But a lot of the songs on that compilation are songs that were on records that I already had. You know, like for instance, one's not popping to my head, but say the song Boogie Wonderland. Boogie Wonderland by Earth, Wind & Fire, right? Well, I have the album that Boogie Wonderland is on, right? So, I mean, the compilation, like, I don't really need the compilation because I have the original songs on the original records. I don't have the album that Boogie Wonderland's on. I have the song that, I have the album that Let's Groove is on by Earth, Wind & Fire. But yeah, I basically just took old records and repurposed them because they weren't going to get used for their original purpose. Just going to check something here. Yeah. All right. I'm actually going to take just a quick minute and a half break, just get some water, so y'all can stretch your legs, go grab a snack, go grab some water yourself, whatever you want to do, and we will be back here in just like a minute and a half tops. All right. That's so cool to have a physical thing alongside the painting. Yeah, isn't it? Plus, one of these years, I'm probably gonna gather up all of the records that I still have and probably display them somewhere. That would be cool. All right, so yeah, I'll be right back. So hopefully we'll see you all in just about a minute or so. All right, stay tuned. Okay, and we're back. I'm gonna head back home from my studio too. I'll catch you in a little bit. All right, cool. We're probably gonna be here for another 30 or so minutes. So if I don't catch you, hopefully you can still hear this. Or you're watching the VOD. Thank you so much for the host, and thank you so much for the follow and for sharing your community with us over here. It was good to meet you. And I am looking forward to seeing your work. And if you do happen to come back before we head out for the night, I'll say all that again. All right, so we got our. You bring this in again. We just got some white paint on this brush, and we're just gonna come in and do a little bit of a separation between the boat and the reflection, just like so. And I'm going to clean up that a little bit because we went over the lines, so to speak, just a little bit. There we go. Nice. I kind of like how that turned out. Now I'm gonna come again. I'm gonna cross the room and just see how this looks size-wise in context with the land over there. So I'm just gonna come over here, see how this looks from a distance. Yeah, I'm definitely going to make that land a little bit smaller, I think. Well, maybe. It might be okay. I do like the size of the ship, though. I do quite like how that turned out. So, I'm going to just take a seat here. Just take another look at it. I look at my stuff a fair bit. You know, just want to make sure that it looks all right. And I think that we're good. I think that we're good. But we are going to shrink that land a little bit. So I think for that I'm going to need some more white paint. I'm going to need a fair amount of white paint. And I'm going to need a bigger brush because we got to like feather that out. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe the land's all right. I think maybe we just need some more details in there. Yeah. Well, let's try working on some details first, and then we'll decide if we need to shrink it a little bit. So we'll bring this over here. I'm going to grab our little brush again. Oh, hey, look, Art Raid /host. That's right. That's right. Yeah, we got a little host. Yeah, it was very kind of them to come in and host us. I wish I could bring this, well, actually, let me move my laptop. The camera might do something weird here, so my apologies if it does. We're just going on a little field trip where I want to... Okay, again, this might look weird. There we go. so you guys can get like a little closer view of this. And I'm gonna go get a light. And hook the light up. Just so we get a little bit of a better view. Okay, let's plug that in. Come on now. Thank you. Would you like to turn on? There we go. There we go. Oop. Pulled the camera a little bit too far. That's alright. There we go. So now we're going to get like a little bit better view of what it is that I'm doing over here. But I do appreciate everybody coming in and watching, just hanging out. I always appreciate all y'all, because, you know, normally I would just be painting by myself and talking to myself. So it's nice to talk with you all while we're doing this. You know. Some white, some yellow, and a little bit of blue. And basically all this is going to be just very overgrown, you know. It's the general vibe I'm going for this area. Just very overgrown plant life. go. Now this over here is probably going to be off the edge of the painting, but I've mentioned that before, that I don't really mind doing extra stuff like that if it's going to be off the edge of the painting, because it adds a little flavor if you're coming from the coming to the painting from the side, you know. There we go. Oh, while I was on my break, I forgot to make that command for the Black History Fact. So I'll just tell you the Black History Fact that I posted for today, in case you don't make it over to Instagram or to my Facebook. Today's story is from colonial Boston, in which a woman by the name of Zipporah Potter Atkins in 1670 became the first black woman to actually own land in Boston, and became one of the first black individuals to actually own land, period, in what would later become the United States. She got an inheritance from her father. Both her parents were slaves. However, she was born free because Boston law at the time stated that if a child is born to parents who are slaves, the child is born free. So she was free, and she inherited a sum of money from her father, and she was able to purchase a house with it in North Boston. And she lived there for 29 years before selling it in 1699. And in selling it, she became the first black woman in Suffolk County, Massachusetts, to actually sign her name on a deed. So She was a pretty big deal. But she was buried in an unknown location when she died. She died, I think, in 1705. And no one really knows where. However, there is a memorial for her now. Because in 2009, a retired... I think she was a professor of education at Boston University. Why am I blanking on her name? I just wrote it not too long ago. I think it's Dr. Vivian Johnson. Is it Vivian? Let me pull up my Facebook and see. I'm going to feel like a fool if it's not Vivian. It is. Dr. Vivian Johnson started doing research on her because she discovered Zipporah's documents stating that she owned this land. She uncovered these documents, so she was doing a bit more research, and now, through that research, Zipporah has a memorial in Boston, commemorating the fact that she was the first black woman in the city to actually own land, which I think is pretty baller. Especially given the fact that, like, women at the time, period, weren't given very much agency. Legally, they weren't given much agency. And especially black women. So she was just kind of like, oh, watch this. Which I think is pretty cool. Okay. There we go. So we did a few more details on that, on this little inlet. Which, I wonder if this will let me zoom in without it distorting too much. Yeah, that's actually not too bad. It didn't distort much at all. So I'm going to do a little bit more, actually. Just down further toward the water. And add a little bit more yellow. And need to lighten that a bit, actually. But yeah, that's the story of Zipporah Potter Atkins. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. So, I'm going to move the camera back to where it was. So, just excuse my hands and all that stuff again. Because we're going to... Oh, you get a look at my makeshift tripod here. Which is a hamper with a box and an old record player on top of it. We'll keep you focused on the painting here. If I could unclip this, whatever. We'll just move the stand back over. Okay, and we'll move the camera and my laptop back over. And now we're going to do some magic flipping. There we go. All right. So I think what I want to focus on now, just because we're coming up to the end of the stream, for the last couple of minutes, I want to start laying in like some raves, some waves and some ripples in this water. So I think that'll be our next endeavor. And we'll just do a few just to kind of like map it out, and then we'll go find someone to raid. And I think I know who we're gonna raid, if they're still on when we're finished. That's not the brush that I wanted. Yo, Gabriel, thank you for the sub. Thank you. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. That's wow, that's awesome. Lurking more than often. Well, hey, I appreciate the lurkage, and hey, you know, if you're lurking, I gotta sing you my song. Well, my song. I didn't write it. I always feel like somebody's watching me. But no, I appreciate the lurking. I appreciate the sub. I appreciate you watching. Like that's awesome. Thank you. Alright, so we're gonna just grab a little bit of white paint, and we're just gonna start laying in, well, maybe. This brush is starting to fray a little bit, so I might not actually use this one. This one will be fine. It's a little bit bigger, but it'll get us to the same place. But no, I definitely appreciate anybody who's watching and lurking. Like, if you don't want to talk in chat, like, that's fine. That is perfectly fine. I just appreciate anybody who shows up and interacts in any way, whether that's lurking or watching for a couple of minutes or a couple of seconds, or, you know, like chatting up a storm or raiding or follow, like whatever level of engagement you all have. I really do appreciate it. You all make this a lot of fun. All right. So we're just going to do this, like I said, in a couple of places. And we're not going to do anything too heavy right now. We're just making decisions where we want these to go. And we'll do a couple more. And then we'll open up the old Twitch and see who we're going to go say hello to. I want to keep this mostly blue, so I think we're going to put one here. Okay, so I think that's going to do it for today. We've got a couple of ripples in here. Sort of, it's going to direct where we go next with the remaining ripples. We got our little ship here in the distance, which I may actually like fade out a little bit the next time we get together. And then we got our little inlet here, and then we're going to paint the beach next time as well, unless something else draws our attention, in which case we might not paint the beach. But yeah, that's what we got so far. Oh, also for those of you who missed it earlier, I'm going to tell the story about this shirt again, once again, because it is Black History Month. So this C here is the emblem, the logo for an all-black baseball team that was in my hometown. The Chatham Colored All-Stars, who in 1934 won their league's championship. Many of the people on that team, they believe, probably could have gone pro if black people were actually allowed to play in Major League Baseball at the time. Unfortunately, they weren't. So they were a very, very good team. And I used to work in a museum, and the Chatham Kent Black Mecca Museum. And they have these shirts available, and I went down there to visit, and the president of the board down there is like, what shirt do you want? I was like, you don't got to give me a shirt. But they gave me a shirt, which I really, really like, because, you know, it's an important part of Canada's Black history, actually. So yeah, that'll do it for today here. So I think we're going to go find somebody to raid. And I think I know who, once again. But I'm going to move you down here, so I'm more in the frame. If they're still on, I think I know who we're going to go raid. So we shall see if they're still on. Well, it says that they're still on. They're still live. So yeah, we're gonna go say hello. Like I've said, we've said hello to this person before, but we're gonna say hello again because they're pretty cool. I think they're pretty cool, and they do a lot of crafting. They do a lot of art. Like right now, they're working on a painting, a gift commission of a couple of dogs. So yeah, we're gonna go say hello to Jess, J.R. Burbs. Yeah, Gabriel, you too, and thank you again for the sub, and thank you for everybody who came in today and watched. Thank you to Tad again for the host earlier, and for the follow, and to Snow Beast for the follow, and for everyone else who came in and lurked and had a good time. Like this was fun. I always have fun doing this. And interacting with you guys, and just having a bunch of fun. Is anybody else having trouble with raids lately? Like, it says invalid raid target. Like, I know you can raid this person. Like, get out of here, OBS, you're drunk. So we're gonna go through the dashboard here. Okay. Yes, there we go. We're going to go raid Jess. We're going to go raid JR Burbs. There we go. Now that works. All right, so thank you again, everybody, for coming on in. This was a lot of fun today. Again, happy Lunar New Year. Happy Black History Month. We're going to be back here doing art on Thursday. Same time, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow, we're going to do a gaming stream. We're going to play some more Breath of the Wild. Same time, 6 to 8 p.m. So if you're into that, hope to see you tomorrow. If not, we'll hopefully see you Thursday. And yeah, we'll go from there and have some fun. All right. You just use the dashboard for raids. Oh, hello, Calico Kitties. Good to see you. Yeah. I used to be able to do it in the chat, but it's being silly now. So I think I might just use the dashboard now. But yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll go say hi to Jess over at JR Burbs. All right, take it easy, everybody, and I hope you have a good one. Hello, Calico, and also bye. I'm sorry we're saying hi and bye, but hopefully you'll go over there and we can say hi over there too. All right, bye, everybody.